Hello, Paul McFarlane here to talk about something I haven't talked about in a while, but maybe we should talk about now while all the really cool kids are in calm and all the people back in the offices are texting them saying, "Can we run this? Can we run this?" How do I know? That's how it used to be with telephones and faxes when I was there. Anyway, I'm going to quote something from someone very, very famous and well known in the world, and it's not important whether you know where this comes from, because if you do know, it doesn't matter, and if you don't know, it doesn't matter. It's this. What I like to talk about from time to time is this truth. When you want to understand how to advertise, how to brand, a great way to start is yourself. What do you respond to? What are your favorite brands? But here's the point. Let's say it's Nike or Coke or Apple or whatever you like. How many things do you really hold in your mind and your heart about them? Go on, I'll wait. Yeah, see, the point is, I don't care who the brand is, I'll bet you only hold one, two, maybe three things about them at any time. That's the truth. People will remember a company for so few things. So you have to be very, very careful what you want them to remember you for. Now, we all see it. Brands, even better brands, sometimes approach the world with a feature stack. We have this and this and this and this and this all in one go, as if that's the way people want it. Nope. Or they try and be clever about it, and they'll do a video about this part of their business, and a video about this part of the business, and a video about this part of the business. So on the aggregate, it's still a feature stack. No. What do you really think about the brands that you care about? What do you really hold in your mind, in your memory, in your emotions, in your feelings about the brands you really care about? How many things are there, and what are they? First of all, there's not few, and two, they're not features. You don't like a Macintosh because of its processor speed or how much RAM it has. I hope not. Do you really like Coca-Cola for being carbonated sugar water with a caramel flavor and color? No. Do you like Nike because of the shape of the swoosh? Where it's made? No. Do you really care what dry fit is? All the things that people think we're supposed to advertise. Where remember, we forget we're human beings. And how do you relate to brands? One thing, maybe two things, come on, let's be honest, that really matters to you about any brand. So turn that around. When your client gives you a feature stack, smack them, sit them down and say, look, let's go to your house and look at the things you bought. A pair of Levi's jeans. What do you think of when you think of Levi's? And look how many things they say. This is what I've done all the time. I've told clients, think about other brands that they personally like before we ever talk about their brand. But you see, this is another argument for the practical need for radical simplicity and focus. But here's the really key thing. Even if you say, okay, Paul, all right, our company is about this, this, and this, and we're going to pick that. We'll just say that. Well, good for you. But here's another insight, because it's an uncomfortable truth for many people. Those things that we actually do remember about companies are not usually the product features. They're about how they make us feel. How we feel about that industry, how we feel about that product, that service, that software, that clothing, that beverage, that food, that restaurant, and on and on and on. That person. One thing, maybe two. But those are feelings. Now, I'll tell you what made me think of this. I saw, again, for the umpteenth time, the late, great Steve Jobs, when he came back to Apple, after Apple fired him and did the power to be your best and turned into a bunch of beige machines talking about machines. He came back and said, we have to get to the soul of Apple. And he talked about Nike. Nike doesn't talk about their soles and their air soles and their stitching and their shoelaces and their fibers. No. They talk about what it means to be an athlete when there is no finish line. The 5 words that have informed Nike since the beginning. There is no finish line. And it's still in their culture today. But that feeling of athleticism and athletes is what Nike's about. And our own connection to when we exercise, when we learn a sport, when we try to get in shape, when we run, because they were a running shoe company in the beginning. That feeling, that's what people remember about it. When are you going to get this? This is what businesses are about. The feeling you take away from it. That is just so easy and simpler. Oh gosh, all those other ones I used to use, and this is simpler. Wow, okay. I hope you're getting this, because this is really important. At least for the few who will get this and actually apply this, because then that makes it easier for us, because most people won't get it and will never get it. And then so we get to cream them in the marketplace. But again, Fortune 500, 150 clients I've worked with, CEOs. I've actually sat with CEOs. Some I could tell you, some I am not allowed to tell you who they were because, well, it's part of the work I do. But I have gotten in spaces with people where I've actually got them to think about the shoes they're wearing, the car they're driving, when they're not a car company CEO anyway, and ask them, what do you think about it? Why did you choose it? And you get people in that space of saying, yeah, it is really that one thing that really resonates for me. And I say, yes, we have to do that too. That's how you sell, by the way, by not selling. You spend time with all your clients like that, from beginning to past the end. So you don't sell, you come to conclusions together at the same time. I've been doing that since at least 1998. I'm not kidding. I figured that out a long time ago. So remember, how do you experience a brand? It's simple, and it's a feeling. Don't get caught up in feature stacks, because you don't pay attention to them either. See, I did mention Khan once, but no mention of AI, except just then.